In the day's other news, the U.S. House of Representatives voted to limit U.S. involvement in the war in Yemen in a rebuke to President Trump. It would force a withdrawal of U.S. military assistance to a Saudi-led bombing campaign against Iranian-backed rebels in Yemen. The measure goes to the Senate now, where a similar resolution passed last year. The White House has promised a veto. We'll hear reaction to this from Secretary of State Mike Pompeo in our interview. That airs in just a few minutes. President Trump sought today to step up the pressure on Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro. He said again that he's looking at all options if Maduro refuses to surrender power. But at a congressional hearing, the chair of the House Foreign Affairs Committee warned against using the U.S. military in Venezuela unless Congress approves.
I want to make clear to our witnesses and to everyone else watching, U.S. military intervention is not an option. Congress decides when, where, and how the U.S. military is used around the world, and Congress would not support military intervention in Venezuela.
The U.S. has recognized opposition leader Juan Guaido as Venezuela's rightful leader. A former U.S. Air Force intelligence officer has been charged with revealing U.S. national defense secrets to Iran. Monica Witt defected to Iran in 2013. The Justice Department announced the indictment today. It said that she also helped hackers target her former colleagues. Witt remains at large. The socialist government of Spain may have to call early elections after it lost a crucial budget vote today. Catalan separatists joined conservatives in opposition. The Catalan deputies are unhappy with the government's refusal to consider an independence referendum for their region. Back in this country, New Jersey's Roman Catholic Diocese named more than 180 priests who have been credibly accused of sexually molesting minors. The allegation spans several decades. Many of those listed are now deceased. Others have been removed from the ministry, and some have been charged with crimes. Separately, the Diocese of Richmond, Virginia, named 42 accused priests. The superintendents of the U.S. military service academies faced bipartisan criticism in Congress today over sexual assaults and harassment. A Pentagon study last month found a 50% jump in incidents at the schools in the last 2 years. At a House hearing, California Democrat Jackie Speier said she's putting the academies on notice.
This isn't a blip, a Me Too bump, or some accident. It is a clear illustration of a destructive trend and a systemic problem. It's time for us to recognize that this is a crisis, and I intend to watch it like a hawk.
The ranking Republican on the committee joined in, saying the problem needs immediate attention. An investigation has found that no evidence that Catholic school students used racist or offensive language in an incident at the Lincoln Memorial. The encounter last month involved teenagers from a school in Covington, Kentucky, and Native American activists. Videos of it quickly went viral. The investigation was done for the Catholic Diocese of Covington. Brock Long is resigning as head of FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency. He notified his staff in a letter today. Long's departure comes several months after an investigation found that he misused government vehicles. He agreed to reimburse the government. NASA said goodbye today to its Opportunity rover after nearly 15 years of exploring the surface of Mars. The golf cart-sized vehicle was launched in 2003 alongside its twin, Spirit, for a mission of just over 90 days. Instead, Spirit lasted until several years ago, and Opportunity carried on until a ferocious dust storm last June.
We tried valiantly over these last 8 months to try to recover the rover, to get some signal from it. We listened every single day, and we heard nothing, and so it comes time to say goodbye. But we want to remember the 14 and a half years of phenomenal exploration.
We're sad, too. Opportunity set endurance and distance records, and along with Spirit, it found evidence that water once flowed on the surface of Mars. Longtime conspiracy theorist and 8-time presidential candidate Lyndon LaRouche has died. He was known for extremist views and outrageous claims, including one that Britain's Queen Elizabeth was a drug trafficker. Lyndon LaRouche was 96 years old. T-Mobile and Sprint pledged again today not to raise prices for 3 years if their merger wins federal approval. But Democrats at a House hearing questioned whether the Trump administration would hold the companies to that pledge. The merger is worth $26.5 billion. It would unite the nation's third and fourth largest wireless carriers. And on Wall Street, stocks made modest gains over optimism about U.S.-China trade talks. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was up 117 points to close at 25,543. The Nasdaq rose 5, and the S&P 500 added 8. And a wire fox terrier named King is this year's top dog at the Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show in New York. The 7-year-old won Best in Show last night in the nation's most prestigious canine competition. Overall, more than 2,800 dogs took part. Wire fox terriers have won Westminster 13 times, far more than any other breed. They have it wired. Still to come on the NewsHour, a wide-ranging conversation with Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. Republican Senator John Thune on the effort to avert another government shutdown. Forms of universal health care pick up steam among Democrats, and much more.